Topic number one, changes in the source of the company payments. This is something that's been asked a lot. We get a lot of queries, not just from the self-employed people, but businesses of almost all of our clients query this at some point or another. Now, what we would like you to do from the 1st of October, please, let's pay all your expenses from your company account. There's a number of reasons for this. First of all, revenue and customs are becoming harder and harder and harder on particularly small companies, owner-managed enterprises, or OMBs as we call them, owner-managed businesses, where you are paying everything from your personal account or everything from your company account, but there's a bit of a mix between the two. So, given where we are, given revenue's aggressiveness at what is a company expense and what is not a company expense, doesn't meet the criteria, why have you paid all of these from your personal account, or why have you paid all the expenses from the company account? Let's create a very clear distinction for revenue and customs in particular, what your personal expenses are and have those paid in your personal account, what the company expenses are and pay those from your business account. You all have debit cards on your account, so that should be reasonably easy to do. If it's a business expense, pay it from the business account. Or your direct debits for your mobile phone, for example, pay that as a direct debit from your company account. If you're going on the train or the tube, you're paying for a meal, you're paying for stationery, you're paying for software using your PayPal account, set all those up as a company expense and that'll all be good. The vouching has been good. We have had some problems in the past, as you know, about some double deductions. We've had some issues about not all the expenses being in the pack that you send to us. So this makes it easier for you, it makes it easier for us, it makes it easier for revenue and customs if they query that everything is in the company account, it's all paid from the company, these are all company expenses, and we have the vouchers and the coding to go with it. So if you can do that for us, big help. Now, we won't expect, or we will expect, occasionally, you're going to pay something from your personal account, the direct debit, the company debit card doesn't work, you can't set up a standing order quite yet. That's all fine. Trivial and occasional expenses are going to be fine. At the moment, we have 80 or 90% at least of the expenses coming from your personal account. You put it onto Excel. From the Excel, we put it into the books against your loan account. It's messy. Revenue customs pick these things up very quickly. They pick up patterns very quickly, and they spend a lot of time and effort in creating all this intelligence. So let's move away from that. If you have an occasional expense you paid personally, a train bill, a meal, stationery, fine. Put it onto an Excel, mark it as being a personal expense, and we can still put them through. But what we can't have is 80 or 90% of the expenses going through from your personal account. Revenue don't like it. They made that very clear in a number of statements. So on the advice of our management team, we are going to ask you to change from the 1st of October, if you can. That may not be possible on all the expenses, like your direct debits, may take some time to change. Standing orders should be reasonably easy to do, but use your debit card. And if you, let's go about cash. If you draw cash from your company account, that's fine. What we then need you to do, in a similar way as you did with your personal expenses, mark down you drew the cash, what you spent the cash on, put a little cash note on, or put onto an Excel, or write it on the slip you paid this was cash. We can then tally it up. This is also going to help us in moving into revenue and customs, a system called Making Tax Digital. I'm sure you've seen this in the news, you've seen it in various contractor statements, contractor subscriptions, magazines, etc. Now, what we're going to do over the medium term, we're talking the next 2 or 3 years, is get small companies to report your results quarterly. We don't quite know how it's all going to work, but one would presume we're going to have to create a set of accounts, put that into XBRL like we do now for your tax returns and your financial accounts, and push that data through to Revenue and Customs. Now they're going to use this for a number of reasons. You're going to be able to pay your corporation's tax quarterly in advance if you want to. Certain cases you're going to have to pay in advance, but we think probably just coming from an accounting background rather than Revenue and Customs background, very skeptical of what Revenue are up to. I think this is all about data intelligence. So they can tie up your VAT returns to these filings. They can tie up movements on your bank account, bearing in mind that they can see your bank account if they want to. They can write to your bank. They can ask for copies. They can tie it all up. So let's get away from lots of personal expenses. Let's put it all through the company account, and we can make, first of all, the reporting easier for you, easier for us. We've got everything vouched. We can prove that it's a company expense and therefore it came from the company account. Your accounts will be more accurate when we get into that a bit later. But also, we're getting into making tax digital. So, yeah, 1st of October, put everything through your company account.